Mortgage Hangout. Yeah, we're excited to be here, and we've got Scott Dawson way there on my far right. Now, I don't know how you guys see this, but I got Scott Dawson. Everybody, Scott's from BC. We got Rob Campbell. He's good looking as ever from Ontario. And we've got this week's guest is Bryn Werrick, right from Regina. Bryn's a realtor, and yeah, he's joining us today. And we're going to talk a bit more about what we had last week. This is my first time moderating. Gord McCallum, congratulations. His wife had a baby last night, so way to go, Gord. So if he joins, he'll kind of like come in and be all on a tablet and all awkward and everything, but it'll be good. So yeah, this week we're going to be discussing the MLS system, data openness. Last week we had a few comments from realtors and, just kind of wanted to clear the air a little bit. I think our point of view was that we were kind of talking about, creating a value proposition, realtors, the old way of doing business where a realtor would protect the information that they have as a way to, keep the client in close. And, our argument was very simply, the more you put that information out there, you can gain trust with your client. I mean, I deal with a lot of realtors, and I think that they provide a very valuable service. And, I think some of the feedback we got was that we were challenging the integrity of the information. So a lot of realtors were looking at it like, well, if we open up the data and we allow ComFree to start posting their stuff there, and there's nobody, hey, it looks like Gord's joining. There he is. Gord, how's it going?
Congrats, Gord.
He's not even with us right now, but
everybody, point at your ears.
Yeah, right here. Can you hear us, bud? Yeah, you got to turn your mic on. No, can't hear you. Anyways, the argument is if you start letting ComFree and you start letting those guys post all the information, that it corrupts the data, and valid argument. I don't think it's where we were going, but yeah. So let's go with Bryn. Bryn, just a bit of background on Bryn. He runs. He's with Royal LePage Realty, and he runs a shop called Rockstar Homes. You can follow him on Twitter at Rockstar Homes. And by the way, if you're online and you're on Twitter and you want to hit us up, it's the hashtag CMHTV. But yeah, let's put it over to Bryn. Bryn, what do you think? Data openness, go. It's your turn.
Well, when we talk about data openness, we talk about protecting the MLS system and itself, and we really see the MLS database as the most accurate source of information for real estate sales across Canada. When we talk about data a lot, what we're talking about is maybe opening that up to the for sale by owner and the mirror postings and our ComFrees and stuff in Saskatchewan. I had a good chat. My teammate Rob Rayner, which some of you may know, has a great opinion on this. We're saying we can. The problem with for sale by owner right now, we'll go to a listing presentation, and that client will say, "Well, my neighbor just sold his house for $300,000." Well, that might have been up on ComFree for $300,000. And the neighbor said he got really close to it, but if you can actually pull the actual data and we had accurate sales numbers, you'd actually see maybe it sold for $285 or something. We just don't control that information. So Rob has a great opinion about opening up MLS, allowing for sale by owner, mirror postings, ComFrees, and so on to list on MLS so that we can control that data and have it be very accurate. And what's really interesting about that is if we allow the for sale by owners to go on MLS, list and sell, offer commission, all that stuff that you would normally do, we can control and verify the data of square footage and so on, but we can also control the data of how that house sold. So whether a realtor ended up listing that property, whether a realtor brought the buyer through on that property, and so on. And then we can actually control that data and use that for advantage maybe down the road to promote the stats of that and have very accurate information on actual sales numbers. So.
Okay, that's great. So talking more about kind of to fill in what we were doing last week, we were kind of more talking about the marketing angle. Now, it's no secret that I like to create value for my clients and do the, try and market with content. What do you, I know that you do things differently. Tell us about how you do your business and how you see, the typical old school realtor versus the new way that business can be done.
Well, even if we go back to MLS, and if you have your mere postings or your for sale by owners listing on MLS, the value really starts to drive down to if I can get my house onto MLS, and a realtor can do that. Well, what's the extra value to be a listing realtor there? And I think it'll really come down to service and providing the extra value for marketing and so on the listing side. Um, we're starting to do a little bit more. Starting last year, we the whole Rockstar thing was something we started way at the beginning to try and do something a little bit different. And I made the mistake of thinking it was still being kind of flashy and being the rock star realtor and more about us than about our clients. And soon enough, it was our clients saying, "Well, you got it a little bit wrong. It's the reason why you called Rockstar Homes is because of the treatment you give us and the extra service." And we've kind of ran with that. And our whole theme is it's about you, not me, is what we're running through everything that we do now. Anytime we do a possession or the way we thank you for referrals and stuff is really trying to focus on the purpose of it and not so much putting our face on everything. And where that's evolved over the last couple of years is even these marketing videos that we're doing when we list a property, having our clients be the stars of the advertising that we do. Any billboards and advertising doesn't have our face on it, but our clients instead. And we're really starting to focus on the why and not us. So that's really the high level gist of it. But as we see it, we're competing on value now instead of price. And we're not the cheapest guys in town. We're not the most expensive, but we can compete on value any day. So.
Nice, nice. I like that. So, Scott, talk to me a bit about last week, some of the interaction we had with people, and what's your position? Anything changed with you? You're still feeling the same way, or?
Yeah, you know what? Let me just pull up a couple of the comments we had just in front of me here, so I can kind of address some of them.
Sure.
I guess obviously we have kind of already obviously data openness if we're opening the system to anybody, or if realtors are opening their system to anybody. There was that comment made about the integrity of the information that's available, and we touched on that briefly. And I know Gord, I don't know if Gord has his microphone on, so I'll kind of reiterate a bit of back and forth we had in the discussion. Is if this data is open, to comparing it almost to a site like with open source data like Wikipedia. It's accurate information, right? Would that be the same? Could that still work? Something like that with the MLS? That was kind of some points we were kind of discussing.
Gord, what do you got to say on that? Are you talking?
I don't.
Can you hear us, Gord?
Mic check. Mic check.
Hey, there we go. You're in. You're in.
Hey. All right. Yeah. Scott covered it. I think rather than I think the point I was getting at earlier with the Wikipedia comment is rather than saying if we open it up, the data will get corrupted, so let's not do it. Maybe the better approach is, hey, the data could get corrupted if we open it up. How are we going to prevent that, or how are we going to deal with it? Because I really like what Bryn had to say. That it's almost like a keep your friends close and your enemies closer in a way. Not their enemies, but by bringing everybody into the fold, it actually does present a level playing field in terms of data accuracy. And because I know in the past certain for sale by owner sites have been accused of maybe fudging their numbers, and there was no oversight, there was no verification, there was no third party to kind of back any of those claims up. So by bringing it all into the same system, you do have that ability. So I think it's a great idea. At the end of the day, I think what you all care about, does the consumer get the best value from having multiple different systems, or one really good system and multiple ways of accessing it? I'm always a fan of letting the interface be flexible and having the core solid. So that's kind of my 2 cents. And I just wanted to say, guys, I can't join you for the whole thing. I'm really looking forward to watching this later, but I wanted to say shout out to everybody and thanks for the support. We just had a baby last night, so I'm working on 2 hours of sleep, and so everybody's doing well, but I can't stick around and join you because I need to help out here at home, but looking forward to watching the rest of the conversation, and hopefully you guys do an equally good job of offending everybody as I do. So
Fair enough. Well, congrats and get out of here.
Lord. Congrats.
Okay, take care of that.
Okay.
No.
So there we go. So Scott, let's go back to you. Let's some of those points on anything else, or Gord hit it all?
No, Gord kind of hit a bit, and I know I'll maybe kind of just not clarify, but just kind of go over how my comment maybe came across. I mean, one thing I did say is, and I'm just sorry if my computer freezes up because I'm hosting this thing. I guess how I kind of said is if the MLS is opened up, I guess some realtors, this is kind of maybe the only thing they're hanging on to in terms of information, right? Gatekeepers for information. My kind of opinion is that information should be shared. There's information available, obviously, online as it relates to the mortgage industry that, 5 or so years ago couldn't be found. Something as simple as a rate is so easy to find on Google now, right? So people kind of expect these things. Then this information should be available, shouldn't be held behind any kind of gate. Now I know it was some of the things that with Bryn does with some of his marketing. How I first kind of got introduced to Bryn was actually through his videos, and he's done things differently that I think people are actually seeing what he's producing without even having to, like, if we're comparing it to looking on the MLS, they're going to see his listings some other way, right? And I think he's doing a great job in getting that information out there.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. It's definitely, I've been working with Bryn for a while now, and he really does create a value proposition, and I think that, more realtors would be served better to do that. It's about what we can offer our clients. We're in the same boat, mortgage brokers, realtors, insurance professionals. It's the market's changing, and marketing, like Rob, like what are some of the things you're doing differently, or some of the things that you've seen in your marketplace where people are moving ahead and doing things a little differently?
Yeah, geez, different. Let's think. Well, I constantly, if we want to turn the light on me for a second, not being self-serving, but just kind of thinking out of the box, without promoting myself and my services, I try to focus more on just building a better community that I live in. And it's something that I do mostly from my heart, really. But I mean, obviously, your face gets out there and your name gets out there for better reasons than just 3.99% 5-year fix. The whole soapbox thing that everybody does. Out of the box thinking, marketing. I don't know, and if any of my realtor partners are watching this and they're doing anything crazy, that I'm not mentioning, I apologize, but I don't see a lot of crazy stuff. Like, Bryn's putting his clients on a billboard instead of him. That made my head implode. That's fantastic. Who does that? Nobody, because we're all too busy putting our own ugly mug up on our business cards, and I'm guilty of that. But we're all too busy putting our shirt and a tie up on a billboard, going, "Come and list your house with me." No, put the clients up there, because you know what? I'm driving down the road and I see my best friends up on a billboard. That's going to catch my eye, because everything else is just whitewash, boring. We're so used to seeing that stuff. But if I drive down the road and I see my friends up on a billboard saying, "We sold our home in 15 days hassle-free and it was a fantastic experience. Thank you, Rockstar Homes." And then at the bottom of the billboard it says rockstarhomes.ca or whatever the address is, so passively, you're going to remember that, right? And please tell me, try to argue the point that the people that aren't up on the billboard aren't going to be emailing their friends and family going, "If you go down Highway 15 right now, you're going to see my face up on," I love that. That's making me get giddy right now for marketing. So good for you, Bryn. That's awesome. So that's all I have to say. I'm all fired up now. I'm going to go put a billboard up.
Bryn, what do
Thanks,
you feel is, Bryn, what do you feel is some of the response you've been getting to your marketing, both from from your clients and from other realtors? Do they look at you and kind of like, "What is this chump doing?" Or are you getting really positive feedback on it?
Well, of course, the old timers and stuff get a little bit of negative feedback. What do you do? And you're spending so much money, and now I got to do that kind of thing. But in terms of clients, our referral rates have gone through the roof. We really do. We don't mass market a lot. That old tradition of
Bryn,
by referral
you're kidding
only.
me. Bryn, you're kidding me. You're spending all this crazy money on these billboards, and the ROI's through the roof because you care about your clients? It's shocking.
Yeah. So we actually, I'm excited to run the numbers at the end of the year, but I'd say about 75% of our business is coming from referral, whether it's from Jackson or past clients and stuff. And what's really exciting about that to us is we're not doing a lot of mass marketing and some strangers calling us and saying, "Hey, come see me. I saw your billboard." It's referrals from friends, and we're not starting from scratch. We have somebody in common, and it's just a lot more fun to do business that way. And then they also kind of have a good idea how we're working, and so more and more what we're building on is not so much how we're going to advertise ourselves, but how we can change the customer experience and maybe have some fun with the actual Rockstar brand. I always tell people when we're going to try and develop it so that when you come look for a house with us, it's like you're going on tour across the country from stop to stop. Or if you list your house on the market, it's like launching an album, and we're going to try and develop our marketing materials around that. But it's all based on the customer experience and how we do things. But even more with all these videos and stuff, like the phone is really kind of rang off the hook for first little bit there. We had some guys blogging about it, like Doug DeVidra, and I think that's where I think Scott blogged about that as well, using Doug's post. But we had some great phone calls from Flint, Michigan, New York, San Diego realtors that saw it and really wanted to know about the strategy behind it. But it wasn't so much about the flash of the videos and all that. They want to know a little bit more about the concept behind it. And this whole, I think that's the next step for us. We're going to start talking about it's about you, not me, and the concepts that derive to the video and the message behind it. And as much as we can, we're going to try and teach other realtors. We're traveling to Banff in January to speak again. We spoke in Saskatoon a couple months ago to say, hey, we're doing these ads where the realtor on the left side of the ad is 10 feet tall, and there's two little pictures of the houses that he has for sale. And I said, let's flip that around and really change the message so it's not so much about me and more about your clients. And even looking at social media and every day on Facebook, there's another realtor saying, congratulations to my clients on the possession of their new home. If you really want to say thank you, there's better ways to do it. That's really just self-promotion in our mind. So we're trying to spread that message a little bit, and we think that that's the next big revolution in real estate is not so much the way we advertise, but the message that's behind it. So
nice. I like it. So yeah, well, that's good for me. I mean, what do you think, Scott, Rob? You guys keep this nice, short, sweet. Bryn, it's anybody last comments? Scott, anything?
Yeah, no, just a quick comment. I love what you're doing. I think obviously, the three of us are mortgage brokers. I mean, I know Gord's going to be listening to this video. There's things we can learn from you speaking. Some of the ideas, some of the tools you're using. We can implement in our business. So just wanted to say thanks a lot for joining in our chat today. It was great.
Well, I have breakfast every Friday with Jackson. I hear a lot about you guys and on Twitter and stuff, and finally great to meet you, kind of somewhat in person. And I think when we look across Western Canada and Canada, you guys kind of all stand out as leading the way and doing something a little different, and the next generation of the mortgage revolution, I guess. So keep it going. Thanks.
Thanks. Yeah, so, okay, I think we're done, but Bryn, if anybody's watching this and, they wanted to ask you questions about what you're doing, you're completely open to people contacting you?
Absolutely, anytime, face-to-face, Twitter, whatever you need. So
hit you at rockstarhomes.ca or, on Twitter at rockstarhomes, but that's about it. So thanks for being here. Next week we're going to talk about something super exciting, and Rob Campbell's going to figure out what that is, and we'll make that happen.
And I'm going to moderate. I'm going to moderate the shiznit out of it.
Nice. Switching moderators. Love it. All right, guys. Have a good one.
Thanks a lot. Thanks again, Bryn. We'll see you guys.
Thank you.
Ciao, guys. Great job. Bye-bye.